We are Movie Menu Reviews, all in for justice. On today's menu, we'll be reviewing Justice League. Movie menu. Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast, here live on Facebook Live with episode 168. Yes. 168, guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm joined by special guest Manuel Montanez. Manny, welcome. Filmmaker,
thank you for having me.
Writer, director, all around great guy.
Thank you.
Also here is our special correspondent, Rigo Espinoza.
Yeah.
And also joining us is my co-host.
I'm not a great guy.
Okay. And so the episode begins.
The greatest guy ever. And thanks for pressing record. Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Z, you're fired.
Also joining us is co-host Mike Stand. He's not that great.
Woo, Mike.
I'm used to it. It's all right.
Mike is legendary.
Yes, he's legendary at messing things up.
That's true.
No, everyone's great, okay?
As long as you put it back together, then you're okay.
So we have quite a few movie news to go over. So let's go ahead and get started with some trailer reviews. So first up that came out this week was the Deadpool 2 teaser trailer. Now, we just saw that together like a few minutes ago. What did you guys think of the trailer, the teaser trailer for Deadpool 2?
I think it's safe to say hugs, not drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Deadpool quote?
Yeah, hugs, not drugs.
I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hugs, not drugs.
I like that it showed a lot, but it showed nothing at the same time.
Right?
It's basically like a Deadpool sketch.
Well, I love how Deadpool was dressed up as Bob Ross.
Oh, that was legendary right there.
The happy clouds, the happy trees, and nothing wrong with being friends with trees.
Yeah, I appreciate clips that are more clips and trailers that are probably not going to be in the film. It almost feels like extra fun bonus footage, you know?
Oh,
well, that's the kind of a trend nowadays where you see a lot of trailers that are not in the film. But I know that's not what you mean, like an extra skit or something.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, I mean, that's what they were doing with like the original marketing team behind like the first Deadpool movie. They were just making all these random videos and clips.
Yeah, like the Halloween one was hilarious with the kids dressed up as X-Men characters.
Right.
That was great. So it's nice that they started the marketing push for that now, and I love how the paintings kept on changing.
Oh my god,
like,
that was great.
Just randomly, like you just put a color and then they'll cut to a new painting and cut to a new painting.
Yeah,
but it's also talking about the actual footage of the film.
Oh, that's going to be great.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Well, what little you see, which is a smart way
fast
to
cuts, just
get you excited.
Yeah.
And it's Cable's arm is there, or hand is there, so we know he's coming.
I think what's cool is like the fact, kind of going back to that he's Bob Ross. It gives the idea, because in the comics, like he just dresses up as like random people, every so often, like he'll do as a character. So I'm kind of wondering, like, are they going to really incorporate that in this movie, where like when he's starting to break the fourth wall, saying like he's dressed as Logan, or he's going to be dressed as Trump, or he's going to be dressed as, you know what I'm saying?
As Manny.
Yeah, I mean, he says, "Oh my God,
have a top hat."
It's going to be a fun movie.
What did you think of the movie trailer, Rigo?
Yeah, I liked it. I like you know me. I like trailers that don't really show me a lot. Like I really don't know what's gonna happen in this movie. I just know that it's a lot of fun, and I love that they still kept the as far as it takes itself seriously, but not too seriously. Like it basically knows what kind of movie it's gonna be.
What did you guys think? Like moving forward with the marketing of Deadpool, what do you guys want to see out of it? More comedy, more stuff like this?
Yeah, basically more stuff like this. If you can do more entertaining stuff like this, I really would appreciate it, not knowing anything about the movie. That way when I get to the movie theater, I'm surprised just by everything.
Yeah, I agree with Rigo. If the movie feels fresh when you go see it, then the trailers did its job. Getting you excited for the film, and at the same time, nothing's been spoiled for you.
I don't know. That's the main thing. As long as they don't show like any like plot twist or any, thank you, Terminator. What was it, Salvation or
Genesis.
Genesis? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Why are you going to show that? That's like the biggest plot twist right there. And you're just like, oh, we're just going to throw it in the final trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't do that with Deadpool or whatever big reveals, and yeah, should be great.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer review, which is A Quiet Place, which is directed by John Krasinski. Also stars John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. What do you guys think of that trailer? Now, man, you're the one that brought it to our attention, so give us your thoughts first.
Yeah.
Of A Quiet Place?
Well, there you go.
I see what you did there.
Some awkward silence right there. Huh?
Double whammy. Double whammy there.
Well, silence is survival.
Hey. I got my interest because the fact that he's directing it, that kind of threw me off. Like, oh, wow. I never know, Jim from The Office was great at directing. I mean, I always liked him as an actor. And then seeing this trailer, it's another one of those where it doesn't show you, it shows you just enough to get your interest, but not too much where you're like, oh, okay, so that's what it is. That's what it's going on. You get like a just idea of what's going on with the story. I just like the concept, when you watch it, not giving anything away, but like they can't make any sounds. So it's just kind of opening the door, like, is it going to be like a completely silent movie? That's what I'm wondering. If it's all going to be just sign language, or is there going to be like somewhere they're going to have to like actually speak, verbally to each other? It just looks like an interesting concept to being a thriller.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm curious to see what's hunting them, which is not revealed. I'm glad it's not revealed, and yeah, I'm curious to see what it's going to be.
And I kind of hope that they do, like there's no dialogue at all in the whole film. Did you guys ever watch the Gentleman episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer when it was all silent? There was no dialogue. Yeah. I kind of hope that this movie is like that, because that's a great episode of TV history. So I'm hoping that this film can do that. I guess what's the robot movie Pixar that didn't have much dialogue either? Wall-E, thank you.
Huh.
So they did an animation, so let's see if they could do a live action.
Well, yeah, man. I'm definitely positive they can get away with it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm just surprised with John Krasinski even directing a movie like this. I would not imagine his first directorial debut to be something like this. He looks more like a comedy or action guy as far as directing. But
yeah, this movie's set out to come out in April of next year, so we should definitely keep our eyes open for it, as you guys should watch the trailer if you have not. A Quiet Place.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Mike Flanagan film. Who is the same director of Oculus? I believe, I could be mistaken. I think the film was called Hush. Let me double check.
Yeah, it's Hush.
Hush. Yeah. So it seems like it may be in the same vein. That would probably be a fun double feature. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, it's been interesting because I started noticing.
Also, though, John Krasinski did direct one other film before this one.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
What did he direct?
The Hollers. It's a very independent film.
Oh.
Very, very independent.
Yeah, that no one ever heard of.
Is it even on Netflix or?
It's on Amazon.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer, which will be the Incredibles 2 teaser trailer. It doesn't really show much of anything, but the fact that we're getting Incredibles 2 is kind of exciting. What did you guys think of the announcement? It's basically just an announcement.
It's a short, fun trailer.
Jack.
Yeah, the little baby he's basically baby Cyclops.
Well, he's baby everything because he has all these different powers.
Well, you see the
lasers,
like the Human Torch and.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
And he's like lightning. I remember in the movie he turned into a demon as well or something.
Oh, that's right, the shapeshifter too.
Yeah. So I wonder why they didn't show that.
So he's
is that still Jack? Because it's been so long.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's been 10 years and nobody's grown up. Like I would have appreciated more if Jack was like a little bit older.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe this isn't Jack because Jack didn't have any of those powers.
Unless he's evolving.
Yeah, because they said that he was going to have all powers at the end of the first movie.
Oh.
Because he was fire, a demon, he was all this different stuff, or a monster, or whatever. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if the Simpsons can get away with 20 years of not growing up, I think the Incredibles 2 is fine for 10 years.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to some actual news as well. So somehow Good for them, though. Sony secured the distribution rights for the next Quentin Tarantino movie, which is inspired by Charles Manson. What do you guys think about Sony, of all studios, that beat out Paramount and WB, for distribution rights for the next Quentin Tarantino movie? Because then he's no longer with the Weinstein Company.
Now, did they change this before the allegations and all that stuff going on?
No.
Or was this done after?
This is after.
So this is basically a repercussion of, I guess, of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because Tarantino, I guess, with the Weinsteins was pretty much allowed to do anything he wanted. Like, he really didn't have any boundaries. So I don't know what Sony's going to do. I don't know what you guys think about that.
This is what Tarantino demanded, that he had a budget of $93 million so he can have his film in the 1960s set, look authentic and well. Not everything he demanded he got. Apparently, he also wanted to have the rights revert back to him in 10 to 20 years. Apparently, he didn't get that. Mm-hmm. But the reason why he went with Sony was because there's also like an international market that they do. So he, wants to go with them because apparently their international market is really well, as opposed to the domestic, which is iffy.
I don't know. Just it kind of gives me a little weary. Just the idea, it's like, before he had complete, full creative control. I mean, you can see it obviously from his other flicks, from the last one, like Hateful Eight, all those different storylines and all that. I mean, right there, like wasn't able to get everything that he wanted. Then that kind of makes me wonder, like, how much.
Oh, but that's like, I don't doubt the Weinsteins would even have let him do that too. But where it comes to creativity,
that's my fear.
And artistic, they can't. I'm sure they're not going to touch him. They're not going to.
I would hope not, like, because supposedly it's supposed to be his last movie, right?
No, he has like 2 more movies left.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
He keeps saying that.
No,
I really thought this was it.
No, he said he's going to do 10 films and he's done. I think he's only done 7 or 8.
Got you.
Okay,
so, but his number is 10. Like after 10 films, he retires.
So he said.
Will he really retire?
Yeah, we'll see. But it's interesting news. So we're going to see how this movie, it is going to, particularly star, or they haven't really announced it, but they're looking at Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt for some of the roles.
I heard they said they want to get like Tom Cruise.
Then Tom Cruise as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes with Sony. Hopefully.
Imagine Tom Cruise as
Tarantino doesn't.
Yeah.
We kind of can now.
Yeah. That's. I do see that. Yeah.
But I think it's going to be about the followers, not so much Manson himself.
Oh.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, it's
or Samuel L. Jackson plays Manson.
That'd be even better. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio was also talks to being in the movie too. So,
that would have been gold right there.
Pretty big stars. All right, Manny, you had a movie news as well you wanted to discuss.
Oh, well, yeah. As you know, with speaking about the allegations, we're already seeing like a lot of people that are coming out saying about different executives of different actors that have sexually harassed or even so far as raped different either female staff, actresses and whatnot throughout Hollywood. And then as we heard earlier about what was it, a couple weeks ago, give or take, with Kevin Spacey. Then the charges went up against him. Somebody came out saying that Kevin Spacey tried to mess with him when he was like 14 years old. Now he's is like how Weinstein's starting to feel the backlash and the repercussions. Now Spacey did as well, because he was set to star in that new Ridley Scott project, All the Money in the World. He was going to be playing J. Paul Getty, and which was set to come out next month. They're completely erasing him, and they replaced him with the actor Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
And just that amazing. I've never heard of it.
Added about $2.5 million to the budget to do that.
How do you do that though? I know you make film. How would you do that, or is that even like? I know it's possible now because they're gonna do it, but
yeah, if I'm correct, like this week is when they actually start. I believe it's this week, or if not this past week, they've already started production, and they haven't said any updates. I think they're really shooting to have it still come out on the same day in December. My guess is
they haven't pushed it back. They want to still have it out.
So my guess is, even though the trailer tried to hype it like "and starring Kevin Spacey as J. Paul Getty," I don't think he had a very big part in it. In the sense, like, it wasn't like a lot of screen time.
Apparently the movie is focused on Michelle Williams.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, like, they were able to get away with, because they're saying it's not so much replacing, they're just starting over. They actually were able to get all the cast and crew that was needed for those scenes that they're going to reshoot, and they're completely reshooting it. They're not going to try to make, like, Christopher Plummer try to do, like, Kevin Spacey's version of J. Paul Getty. It's like, okay, no, this is your character. You own it. You bring your interpretation to it.
Wow.
So I'm guessing it's like he wasn't in a lot of scenes, and that's how they're just going to, okay, we're just going to shoot.
But
marathon mode.
good for Christopher Plummer to step in, but it's
right.
not easy to memorize lines.
Oh, not
so
at
I'm
all,
sure
so-
he's going to have a lot of help with that. And I wonder how. And obviously, this movie's coming out in December, which is awards season,
Mm-hmm.
and they obviously, want this film to get some notoriety and some accolation for the films. So, do you think that this was a smart choice to try to still keep it in December, or do you think they should push it back?
You know what? I want to say it should be pushed back. That's just my opinion. Like, if you want to try to get that same quality, because it feels too rushed. You don't have a lot of time, especially for him as an actor, to prepare to get into the role. Like, we don't know how much preparation Kevin Spacey took to, like, research and, like, try to, get, video clippings and trying to, like, be able to mimic J. Paul Getty. I don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I trust, like, Christopher Plummer can do a great job. I'm just like, if he had enough preparation, like, is that going to really show difference in the caliber he's able to bring to the screen with this character? I mean, you even see it now. Like, on the updated movie posters, they completely got rid of. They switched the names now. You don't even see Kevin Spacey now. You see Christopher Plummer on there. So I'm just curious. Like, in a sense, I kind of want to see both versions if that was even possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Kevin Spacey.
I'm sure
cut.
there's going to be a cut somewhere.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I would hope so, the extended.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I mean,
see
no.
it,
Like, then they're never going to release it.
Oh, I know
but
they're
but
not.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, like a PA or someone has, or
Like
a
it's
screener or
online,
something.
yeah.
By
It'll be
yeah.
leaked, do you mean?
It'll be leaked. Yes, thank you. I'm sure it'll be leaked.
They're gonna WikiLeak it.
Yeah. In the trailer, like they make it Kevin Spacey's role out to be some huge thing. The
Right.
way the trailer sets it up, it's like guess who's Getty? And
Right.
and,
They're like, oh my god.
yeah.
I feel like they're gonna do the same with. Do you remember that movie, The Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
When in the trailer they made a big hype, like, and Angelina Jolie as blah blah blah, and then she was only in there for like 5 minutes. Like, you're watching the whole movie, like, okay, when is she coming out? When is she coming out?
Yeah.
And then when she finally gets, she's like, I'm here, Sky Captain. Now I have to go. And
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I feel like that's what they're
Yeah.
going to do with, like, Kevin Spacey.
Gotcha.
It's just going to be like maybe 5 minutes of screen time. That's why they're able to get away with these reshoots.
Gotcha.
Maybe they were trying to just monkey off the whole success of House of Cards. Maybe.
I would imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
But we'll see when it comes out. Hopefully, if it comes out in a month or in a couple months, we'll see if they can make the deadline. But let's go ahead and move on to what you guys have been waiting for: our review for Justice League. Coming up right now. And since I did see the movie, I'm going to toss the hosting duties over to my co-host Mike Stan, who will now be promoted again to host.
All right. Second time. This is. I should have like it's like the Boy Scouts where you wear badges.
Yes.
I could have like
Oh,
a
but
a host badge.
before I give the hosting duties over to you, I'm taking it back for a little
Oh.
bit.
Oh. Stripped him of his host duties.
Brought me up just to bring me down.
It's what I do best.
Now you're the janitor.
Yeah, go clean up somewhere. I want to give a couple shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Leticaela Austin. Thank you so much. She gave
Hey, Lefty.
she gave me a pass to watch an early screening of it. And in doing so, I also got to see Josh Tapia, JT from Schmoes, and also from Screen Junkies. So just what's up with that?
Nice.
Just want to say shout out to both of you guys. And also to April, his girlfriend. So quick shout out. All right, there you go. You have the hosting duties back.
Yay.
Da-da-da-da.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Yay.
Uh,
I'm re-promoted. That's good. So now
until we demote you again.
I'm now host / CEO.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I
man,
promoted
the business,
myself.
The business is going to go down.
Yeah, that's why I'm CEO. All right, here we go. Yeah, you guys hear that clicking? I don't know what that is, but I apologize if you guys hear that.
Batman.
It could be the batarang.
It's like,
Okay.
it's trying to hack it from me.
Yeah. All right, so the movie we're reviewing is Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon. It stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, Ezra Miller, J.K. Simmons, Diane Lane, and Jeremy Irons. Here's the plot. Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy, not save.
They're gonna save the enemy.
Plot twist right there.
Yes, I think I spoiled it already. Now, depending on
we don't use that word around here.
yeah,
right?
yeah, spoiler free.
Yes,
We're doing
free.
spoiler free
Yeah,
reviews.
spoiler free. We won't be giving anything away, guys.
Yes. So
Looking at you,
He's
Rigo.
like, yeah, you were.
I'm just saying it would be a lot easier to review a movie if you could talk about it instead of like talking.
that
in
is
code.
true.
Like that one scene with the other scene.
Yeah,
And that guy.
that
exactly.
one guy.
That's
that
how it
one guy
feels.
though.
So what is the rule? Is it like as long as it's like the first third of the movie or what? Technically,
I think if it's in the trailer, it's up for discussion.
okay. So it's you're basically reviewing the trailer is what you're.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a fine trailer. It was.
Yeah. All right. So now depending on
I
your
mean, there's
guys-
some things that is obvious, so that we might have to bring up. That's obvious. So.
like what, Dan?
I don't know.
We'll get to it.
We'll get
okay.
to it.
Okay. All right. Now, depending on your guys' spoiler-free review, I will determine if this movie is worth a dine-in and watch it in theaters, take out, wait and watch it at home, or leftovers, toss this film in the trash. Now, whoever wins gets a point, and whoever has the most points will be able to choose a segment next season. So Z won last season, so we got a segment in the works for you guys. So. We actually have
we have the topic, yeah.
Yeah. We finally have something.
It's funny because I'm like, let's do this, and like, yeah, I can do it. Oh, thanks, Z. You stole my idea.
So Dan's like Joss Whedon for Justice.
Oh wow.
Basically, and Z is Zack Snyder. Yes.
Mike, spoilers, Mike.
I'm sorry.
All in.
All right, now rate this film. We'll go with Rigo first.
Oh, why put it on me? But okay. Well, I'm gonna base this on my experience and my buddy's experience that I saw with my buddy Edgar. He really loved it, like a lot. I liked it, so I'm gonna give it a dine in.
Okay, dine in, Manny.
I'll concur. I will say dine in as well.
Wow. All right.
I three will concur and say dine in. Wow, surprises.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Okay.
Oh, then we're good. All right.
All right,
Thank
done.
you for-
Review's done.
Hey.
We all say dine in, watch it in theaters.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of mixed reviews, so I'm kind of happy to hear it was a unanimous dine-in from you guys.
Don't listen to that Rotten Tomatoes nonsense.
Yes.
All right, well that's great. Well, we'll start with you, Dan. What was the main reason why it was a dine-in for you?
So I mean, this movie. Don't get us wrong. It's a fun film. It is not a perfect movie. It's not The Avengers, and it's not Thor Ragnarok fun, but it's very entertaining. There's some amazing scenes in this film that I was just like, oh man, that's so cool. As a comic book nerd.
Can you mention one?
There was a scene where the Justice League themselves are kind of imploding, and like there's tension going on.
Oh,
I don't want to give too much away in that scene, but that scene was so cool.
Okay.
I wanted it. I wanted that to happen, and they delivered it. Some of the things they also delivered is that there's cameos from other things going on in the film. Like when they tell the story in the past, you see other characters as well. That was awesome to see.
Okay,
was cool.
That
like
is
when they
cool.
talked about the history of Steppenwolf, which is the villain in this movie.
Okay.
So the plot is basically Steppenwolf is trying to find these mother boxes, which the mother boxes were introduced in Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Now this movie is a nice change from Batman v Superman because it's not so much of a mess in the sense like things don't make sense. It's just that there's just so much stuff going at you that it's just you wish they had more time. You know, the movie should not have been 2 hours.
You think it should have been?
It should have been longer. It
should have been like 2.5.
Yeah, it should have been. But
maybe 3.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
3
3
hours?
I feel like
even
it
though the pacing itself is good, I never felt like the movie was dragging for me personally. I just wanted more from it.
Do you think it's better for it to have felt too short than too long?
That's a good
In a
question.
sense.
Yeah, but there's so much story behind it, so
Yeah.
there's no way that you would have felt like it's too long
Mm-hmm.
because you've been entertained the whole time.
Got you. What were you gonna jump in?
No, I totally agree with Dan as far as like.
What?
Yeah, Dan.
You're now Dan's new best friend.
Did we just become best friends?
Yes, we did. No, I agree. I was glad that the Justice League didn't just come together and we're so happy together. No, there was conflict among them. There was
a civil war.
not a civil war. But they had their own inner issues with themselves and also with each other. Like they had to learn to trust each other. They had to learn to work together. And I also like that it was not as they didn't try to make it as Zack Snyder-ish as all the other movies have been. This was a little bit more lighter, more comedic. I love the Flash in this.
Flash stands out.
Honestly, him and Wonder Woman kept this movie together.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman to me is like DC's like standard right now.
Golden child.
Yeah, she can do no wrong. And
Gal Gadot is great as Wonder Woman.
Yes.
She's just so great in the film, and just so good.
That's why I don't understand this whole backlash of the Amazonians didn't look empowering. Yes, they did. If you
it wasn't that. Is that the costumes were too revealing?
No, they does.
I'm sorry, but what about like the Spartans from 300?
Yeah,
well,
that's what I felt.
The argument was, and I was talking to someone in line about this too. Was that in the Wonder Woman film, they're all in armor. Like they look like they're in armor, they're protected. And in this film, they're like half naked. So like why would they go backwards?
I get what you mean.
They were in full armor, looking badass. And then in this film, because the costume designer was a man, they were like half naked. And
so there was like RPG armor.
Yeah, basically. So some people, that was the backlash. That people were upset. Like they should have kept them badass warriors and not sex symbols.
But they are badass warriors if you watch the movie.
But not sex symbols is what the.
Yeah, but I don't think like the costumes completely changed. There were still parts where they had more the traditional.
No,
armor,
to be
if
fair,
not added
we are guys, so
Yeah.
I think a woman's perspective would be something to talk about that here, because
But in a way, isn't that ironic? Because Wonder Woman has kind of become the ultimate sex symbol as far as like she's beautiful, she's strong, she's very smart. So she kind of.
I don't think she's become a sex symbol. I think she's become a woman empowerment symbol.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, that's not the same thing, Rigo. We are not best friends anymore. Wow.
Well, you know what I mean, right? I'm not trying to like degrade anybody or anything. I'm just saying that's.
There's gonna be accusations coming out about Rigo.
Well,
and
you know
Hollywood.
what?
He gets replaced from this episode.
I understand Rigo's point, though.
I'm just saying that's what I felt about the movie. I felt it was well paced, and I also like that not everything was revealed right away. As far as you knew something was coming, but it just didn't happen like.
Yeah, so there was like a proper setup for
it. Yeah,
and
you
it
had to
didn't
wait
take
for
too
it.
long.
Yeah, and there's no Martha like.
It wasn't like
scene.
It wasn't like Batman versus Superman where it's like there's a setup and then like there's no payoff and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, because they're trying to figure out how to do things, and it once they figure it out, it's still not like 100% sure. So they still got to go through all the process of trying to figure out how to make things happen.
Now, this film obviously doesn't cover the comics. It like, changes the comic history completely. But for the film universe, you kind of have to do that. You can't keep it as the comics. And what they did for an adaptation, because it's basically what it is, like an adaptation from the comics. It's not so much a direct source from it. I enjoyed where they went, and they took inspirations here and there from different things, and I think it made it work together.
Okay. Well, what inspirations?
I can't say because it's a spoiler. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you mean from different films, or do you mean from within the DC universe?
No. Different comics.
Different comics.
Like the story arcs.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I see. So it's a reference to different comics.
But to keep in that without spoiling the movie, the musical score, it was kind of awesome because they used some Burton and they used some of the old Superman.
Well, he was a composer for it.
Yeah.
Well, no. It was Danny Elfman's composing for Batman, the original Batman score, and then John Williams, Richard Donner, Superman.
Yeah. So they mixed it all together.
They mixed it with the modern and it was so cool to hear that.
That's super cool. What stood out the most for you, Manny? As far as, or I should say, what's the main thing that made this film a dine-in for you?
I think the main thing, well, I don't want to fanboy, but just the fact that you get to see these characters united.
Such a fanboy.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to use a fanboy.
I'm just kidding.
I know, but just
fanboy. Who cares? People say that as like such a bad thing. Yeah. Like Z would say that's a bad thing. Just because you're passionate about something is not bad.
I mean, you get to see them all like.
You just don't have to be a dick about it, but
yeah, yeah, but I mean, you get to see them like finally on like the big screen, all together. doing their thing, and it was great.
And you know what? I feel like it was cast well. Like
it was. I mean, come on, Cyborg was great.
Yeah,
Flash was just Flash.
Was Flash.
I mean, that's why I think what I enjoyed a lot was Flash was like he was like the inner geek of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can relate to him. Like if I was in his position, I would be geeking out too. Like you see it in the trailers. Like he's when they show the bat scene, he's like, oh my gosh, look, that's you. They're trying. Oh, I mean, like
yeah.
And then you just see him like throughout the movie, like he's still doing that, and you start laughing at him, like, oh my god, I would be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, so he's like the audience perspective pretty much of everything.
He's fun.
Okay,
he's fun. And then of course got like cool Aquaman.
Yeah, no, Rigo mentioned earlier this isn't the typical Zack Snyder film. This is lighter and more humorous. I know it. For those who don't know, it had been announced that Joss Whedon had to take over directing. Do you feel like Joss Whedon potentially changed the tone of this film, or do you think that was just?
Well, apparently they had tried to start the shift of the tone after Batman v Superman, so before they filmed this movie. But I feel like Joss Whedon, he helped it even more so.
Okay.
Because that's just his sensibility.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I love the Avengers. The Avengers is one of my favorite comic book movies. I did not like Avengers Age of Ultron. I was disappointed. This movie is better than Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So if you need to, go ahead. And I don't agree with the rating on Rotten Tomatoes with this. I feel like they're not giving it a fair chance.
So do you think that it's just getting backlash because it's DC? Yeah. So it's been kind of shoved in this not good enough
No, I mean there are some bad things about the film. But I feel like the good outweighs the bad.
I think it's just a trend. Like, okay, as long as it's a DC, we're just going to bash on it.
Well, no, because Wonder Woman had a great score. So
no,
but I think that Wonder Woman, I think that's the exception because that was more considered a woman empowerment movie.
No, but even with Wonder Woman, I remember we came on and we had a story where they were already saying that the movie was a mess and that nothing was going right. So it has a lot to do with these people. Like, why was the Rotten Tomatoes score so important for everyone to know? Who cares? Go watch the movie. Make up your own mind.
And it's funny, like, you start to read, like, some of these, quote-unquote critics that are on Rotten Tomatoes that they're using for the negative reviews. A lot of them, you can tell they're I hate to use the term again, they're fanboys. They're like, some of them are like, well, it's no Thor. Well, it's not a Marvel movie. I'm like, it's not supposed to be a Marvel movie. It's a DC movie. Take it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they just don't give it a chance. So it's like, it's just the trend right now. Hey, it's a DC movie. Let's all just bash on it and just make fun of it and nitpick everything. I mean, look, I enjoyed Thor. I laughed out loud to it. But there's a lot of things about Thor I didn't like. It's not a perfect. There's a lot of things about Marvel movies that are not perfect movies. And yet, the same things that DC movies keep getting, like, nitpicked and, like, it's like, seems like Marvel movies are, like, untouchable. Even though, like, a lot of them are doing the exact same things.
Got it. So it's just a film that needs to be given a chance and just take it for what it is and stop comparing it to other comic book movies. So let it stand alone. And also the progression from the earlier DC films to now. How much it's progressed from the backlash of Batman v Superman from all the fans.
Yeah,
it's gotten better.
Yeah, it feels like when Avengers first came out. Because honestly, I didn't like Avengers. I thought the story was horrendous. It was alright. I thought just the first. The first Avengers movie. It was terrible. But since then, Marvel has progressed. The stories have gotten better. I feel
you're off the show. You're going.
No, I feel that this Justice League movie is right there exactly with where Avengers 1 is at, where the stories are now going to get better. It's just all going to depend on what Warner Brothers decides to do. And honestly, what I think they need to do is they need to stop with this Snyder. He should be out.
Interesting.
And they should start bringing other people in, just like Marvel has.
Well, that's what they're doing. James Wan is directing Aquaman, and then they're going to get a new director for Flash. Patty Jenkins signed up for Wonder Woman too. So they're getting different people to come on.
Yeah, but I want no Snyder in this. I want him to have
he's part. He's not being a big part of it after the situation that happened.
I mean, that's just the thing with Snyder. Like, I've said it before. Like, he, as a visual director,
it's great.
He's amazing.
He's a great visual director. He just
cool
can't
style.
tell a story for anything.
He always tries to fit in like so much information in such a short amount of time, and then even then he cuts through the information. You just feel so left out. That's one thing I didn't like about. Even though I did enjoy Batman v Superman, I didn't enjoy the fact that he was trying to cram in like 5 different story arcs.
Yeah, it was
into
too
one.
many subplots and subtexts.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have that many subplots.
No.
Honestly, I feel like with this one, I mean, I'm hoping this isn't considered a spoiler what I'm about to say, but the way how this ends, it kind of leaves them on like, now it's like a fresh canvas. Now
Okay.
from here we can go to do whatever story and not have to worry about whatever mess ups from the past. Kind of like how what do you call it? Like Days of Future Past? You know, like how it kind of rectified like all the madness of X-Men, Last Stand,
Yeah.
and all that. It's like, okay, now we got a clean slate.
Got you.
That's why I
Okay.
feel like this movie, like DC now has a clean slate. However you want to do it, please don't mess it up.
No,
DC.
we've been talking about how fun this movie is and how funny, but this movie also has some great action in it.
It
Okay.
does.
And there are like the Amazonians, they kick ass in this film, and there's a whole sequence with them that's great. And then there's other action, the history of Steppenwolf, where he's from. There's an action scene with the Justice Leagues themselves, which was amazing. That was so cool. And then there's action scenes at the end. The action is really good in this movie, and a lot of fun. It's fun to see your heroes use their powers, and beat the bad guys or fight the bad guys. It's so cool to use. In theater, like everyone in my theater when I was watching, when stuff would happen, they'd cheer and laugh, and it was great. It was a fun experience to have in the theater.
So you got the payoff of seeing them all like work together and seeing them all use their powers.
Yeah.
And then payoff in terms of an action film, which is the main reason why you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like the human element in this, where they actually cared about people.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they actually save people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Unlike in Man
It's
of
like, it's
Steel,
not
when it
like
was-
where it's like they're fighting and buildings are falling and what's going on with all the people. But yeah, in this one they like they emphasize it, but it's not like a big plot hole.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems like it's a reactionary to like Man of Steel, them not saving stuff.
I see.
Like because they kept on saying all that stuff, so now
Yeah,
these
yeah.
heroes have to save people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that
okay.
was so
'Cause
ridiculous with.
Yeah, because in
Man
Man
of
of Steel, people were saying, "Well, Superman didn't save anyone." Well, now, like in this movie, they wanted to make sure that Wonder Woman saves people, Batman has to save people. Like,
So so you feel like I know it felt like there was like somewhat of a backlash to that in Batman v Superman as well when they it's actually written in the plot line where they talk about how some people died during that time.
yeah.
So you feel like it's just
it kind of
continued
continues, yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I honestly don't understand like what was the whole. I mean, I get what the backlash was, but I think, come on, have you guys?
No, it didn't bother me either.
Right? It's like he's fighting by himself against 3 other, superhumans,
Kryptonians.
yeah, and he's fighting in the city. Yeah, there's people are going to die, buildings are going to get destroyed. I'm thinking, and all the people are start complaining about it. I'm thinking, wait, have you not read a comic book before? Have you not seen any other comic book movies where, yes, the cities get destroyed, people get killed, in movies or TV shows, stories all the time, stuff like that happens, and then people start complaining about it. So then in Batman versus Superman, you notice how they made that point, like at the final fight when they fought Doomsday, like. When Gal Gadot,
There's no one around. There's nothing
Wonder
yeah.
Woman's like, "Why'd you bring me back to the city?" He's like, "Oh, well, it's empty here. There's nobody here." It's like, okay, and then they kind of do that with this one as well.
Okay.
It's like, is that going to be the theme? Like every time, okay, now we're going to fight on the moon. There's no one here, so now we're going to take out Darkseid or whoever's the next villain's going to be.
Got it.
It's like,
So
leave it alone. Just,
yeah, you feel like they're being a little bit too conscious.
yeah, they're trying to get all like PC on. It's like, no, people.
The critique. Yeah.
It's like buildings are going to get destroyed. People are going to get killed. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, it's collateral damage. Just
Got it.
live with it.
Yeah. Just take it for what it is.
It's a superhero movie.
Exactly.
No, let's talk about what didn't work.
Let's do
My
it.
biggest gripe with this movie, besides it being only 2 hours long, is the CGI is not that great.
Okay.
It's not great. After watching Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy and all that stuff where everything looks seamless,
So it's just not on par.
it's just not on par. Not even close.
Got you.
Not even close.
Interesting. What film, in terms of CGI, would you compare this to? I don't know if that's fair to make a comparison to that, but
Age of Ultron.
really,
Yeah, CGI was bad in that one
Yeah.
too. Just like the opening sequence when
Okay.
they're all fighting in the woods, you could tell like, hey, this is video game Hulk versus with video game Captain America.
But just think of it as like through the whole film.
there's like polygon triangles. And stuff.
yeah.
no, just some parts when
It's
you see,
like they needed another week to render the film.
Exactly.
And it
Gotcha.
wasn't finished rendering when we saw it.
So it showed that it was being rushed, I guess.
you kind of get that taste.
probably.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I feel
I mean,
like
for me myself, my suspension of disbelief is really high because I'm a fan of this, so I didn't let it get to me.
yeah.
But that report came out, so this is not a spoiler. There's a report that came out that Henry Cavill was going to have a cameo in the film, but he has a mustache, so they had to CGI his mustache off. Well, I don't know if you guys noticed
I
or
didn't
not.
notice it.
That's ridiculous.
His whole mouth is CGI. So when he's talking, he's not. It's
Why didn't he just shave?
because he's doing Mission Impossible at the same.
And
So
that's
we did the
part of it.
reshoot
with
so
a mustache.
with the mustache.
Yeah.
But I don't get why they just didn't put a mustache on him like a prosthetic.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
What
understand.
do-
Honestly,
But
I
they spent
completely forgot about
extra
it.
money to
Is it-
CGI
is it-
off his mustache. But it looks like
is
his mouth looks fake.
fake? Is
Yeah.
it cheaper to just? Or why didn't they?
No,
why didn't
so-
they CGI the mustache?
I think it just.
Why
is
Why don't they?
personal.
Why don't they give him a fake mustache on the other movie?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
I think it was just like his own personal. Like he
They
didn't
could have
want to
spent
do
like $12 on a prosthetic instead they spent millions of dollars to CGI this thing out, which is
Hey,
ridiculous.
if Warner Brothers can do it, I'll power to them.
But the first time I saw it, when I read the story, I was like, really? Like, I wonder how that's gonna work. And so you see it, and it's like, oh. I was like, I'm just gonna look not at the mouth.
Honestly, I completely forgot about it until like after I'd seen it, and I started seeing the memes pop up.
It's
Like
like
people
a-
were making fun of it or showing like, there it is, that's a CGI mouth. Like shots
yeah,
are.
it's like
I was I completely forgot about that. I didn't even.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either
Right.
right away. And then after, I was like, oh no, yeah.
It was
you-
like
you
the
can
Conan
tell.
O'Brien sketches where they have his mouth. Like,
Yeah.
what other
No. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, actually, no. Actually, that's better because that's actually a real mouth. At least that's over.
So it looked like a computer.
No, it looks
generated.
like it looks like a fake
How
mouth.
would they do that?
I don't know.
Well, what was the bad for the film for you, Rigo?
The
And
only-
we'll get to you next.
The only gripe I really had with this movie was the running time. I kind of wanted a little bit of more backstory.
So same as Dan.
Yeah,
more backstory.
More backstory on, I guess on. Well, we kind of get the look. Here's Flash. This is his backstory. There you go. But I kind of wanted for them to go more into it, especially what's the robot?
Cyborg?
Yeah, Cyborg. I
Hmm.
was really interested in his character. I really wanted to see everything that happened to him. I know they mentioned in the film what happened to him, but it would be kind of cool to see, like, oh, okay, this is what
Yeah.
happened. And
Especially since not to like, they filmed a scene of Ray Fisher because he was in Gotham. Was it Gotham football?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
high school football.
High
Or
school
college.
football.
No, college, yeah.
Or college. They filmed it at East LA College. They had a whole thing there where they filmed
They filmed it
scenes.
right there?
Yeah, they filmed it at the stadium.
yeah, it
at
came
LA
out in the
College.
trailer, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see it, like,
but-
a clip
but-
of it in the trailer.
But they don't.
They didn't show it?
They
They
don't show
cut
it.
it?
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
So do you think maybe there'll be like an extended cut?
Of course.
Of course.
The
Nice.
DC
I wouldn't be
extended
surprised.
3-hour.
Okay.
Which I don't understand though, because WB themselves, like when Kevin Tsujihara who was like the head of the studio. I don't know if he's still the head, but they implemented that they didn't want their movies to be more than 2 hours. So I do not
Oh.
understand why
So that was the mistake then, you feel?
that should not be implemented. That
Yeah.
should be like
They
you should give the director the freedom if they want to tell the story, or the writer the freedom. They want to tell the story, let them tell it right and how they want to do it,
yeah.
as
that
opposed to
makes sense.
limiting them to a
Mm.
time frame.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a
Yeah.
thing for them to do 2 hours and then do an extended
Yeah.
version.
Unless it's very clear, like in the version that it needs to be edited down, So and the unedited version that it needs to be further.
No, give us for
edited.
4-hour movie. No, I'm just kidding.
What about you, Manny?
Yeah,
What
I
was-
kind of want to piggyback off of that because it was just not to give anything away, but there's things you saw in the trailers and the teasers that were completely cut out of this, and I'm wondering like, why did you cut it out? Especially spots that are like, oh, this is probably going to be like a major thing,
Mhm.
and they cut it out, so that's making me wonder like, okay, what was supposed to happen?
Hmm.
And I hate to say it, but like you get that trend with the DC movies, like there's things that get cut out for whatever reason, and then when you watch the extended version, it's like, wow, why did you get rid of this? This actually
Yeah.
helps the story make more sense.
Well,
And
it's funny though. Sorry, I feel like I keep interrupting everyone. Sorry.
You are,
but
Dan.
I know I am. But like a lot of movies nowadays, like Star Wars did that. Some Marvel movies are doing that. I don't know what's up with why can't they just
just
not
keep it, right?
Yeah.
Or if you can use a scene from the trailer, make sure it's a scene that's going to be in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And even then, like I get like when it comes to the trailer houses, they send send them a bunch of clips, and like
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
even know. It's not even the finished
Yeah.
product. It's just like
It's not even
here's
the-
our dailies. You go ahead.
Yeah,
and put
yeah.
But even then, it's like certain stuff like not giving anything away, but you see in the trailers like, okay, this is going to lead to something. This is going to be a big reveal, or this is going to be something kind of cool.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know
what
exactly
you're
what I'm talking
about.
about, right?
Yes,
And then
they didn't happen.
and it cuts out. And you're like, wait, what happened to? And the next thing you know, we got to wait like 6 months until we get the extended version. And they're like, oh, you jerks! Why didn't you? I mean, that's how I felt when I saw B.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's in the trailer, so can you talk about it?
Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, we could talk about it.
Okay.
So because it's in the trailer.
Okay.
So you're talking about when Superman about the ring, or which
Okay, one
you
of them is the ring, because like when the latest trailer when he's out there in the field. That scene still happens,
but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, they recut it. When she comes down, he's like, I take it you said yes, and she's like, what? Well, the ring, and then. You see,
she wakes up.
Yeah.
It's a totally different.
It's totally different cut. And then even then, that scene alone,
the dialogue's different.
Yeah, it's something like talking about something completely else. And you're like, okay. No, actually, I was talking about the other part too, which from the previous trailer when they showed Alfred in the Batcave, and he's like, yeah, he said you'd come.
Oh yeah.
They completely. It's like
who was that?
It?
Who was? Yeah.
Like was that supposed to be this character or that character? I can't say because I don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah, got you.
But
so it's like a potential
that's
reveal of an exciting character
Yeah,
that's not given to you.
Though I will say on that note, make sure to stay for the post-credit scene.
Yes,
the post-credit scenes are pretty awesome.
There's two.
Okay.
There's
two
two.
post-credit. Okay.
And as much as I love Thor, those post-credit scenes were very disappointing.
They were.
And you're talking about in the Thor film.
In the Thor film.
Post-credit scenes were disappointing, unlike the Justice League.
Those post-credit scenes are great.
Do you guys get the feeling that Marvel now it's like, okay, we got to put a post-credit scene, and like before it was
like a chore. Yeah,
it's a chore. Because before it was calculated, it's like, okay, we're going to put this credit because it's going to lead to the next movie, or this is going to be connected to the bigger story, which eventually we're going to get to the Avengers. And now some of them, it's like, okay, we just got to put a post. One will kind of half bake it to connect to the next story, and the other one's just going to be a random. Like when they showed, what was it? Even though I did enjoy it, I ain't gonna lie. When you saw what was it? The last, what was it?
Forrest from?
No. Homecoming.
Oh.
And then you saw what's his face? Like Captain America after they're showing the clips. Hey, so you stayed here all the way to the end. I was like, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have disappointments. This was a disappointment. And that's what you felt like even with Thor's end credits. Like one of them kind of connected to the next Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just like
a throwaway.
We're just going to throw it in there just to get one final
like a little laugh. Okay.
Yeah, this one was like, nah.
All right.
DC one was better.
Any final words, Dan? Before
I say, if you're a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of DC, I think they are on their way to getting it right. And this movie is a lot of fun. It's so cool to see the heroes on screen. We didn't even talk about how Steppenwolf was. Like, Steppenwolf is not the greatest villain. He's still badass though. He's really cool. Like the fight stuff is really fun to watch. He's not the worst. He's not the dark elves from Thor: The Dark World. He's better than those guys.
Got you.
So if we have to compare,
okay.
And he is better than the one from Iron Man 3, Guy Pearce's character.
And he's better than Jesse Eisenberg. So
a lot better.
All right. Rigo?
But yeah, so I say go dine and watch in theaters.
Got you. Rigo?
Yeah, I agree. Just dine in, go watch it in theaters. I know there's a couple of great movies coming out. There's a lot of great stuff, but if you have a chance, just go ahead and watch this. This is a film that deserves to be watched on the big screen because I don't think you'll get the same impact than you do watching it at home on TV. But other than that, just go watch it. And for me, this film, just to summarize with one word, is redemption. Because especially
redemption.
Yeah, because
Justice League Redemption.
Because they're gonna after this, I feel like DC's gonna just like redeem everything that was.
So it's been redeemed, clean slate now. What about you, Manny? What's final words for this film?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to feel, you just want to geek out and nerd out on seeing these all together on, how's it all in on the big screen? Yeah, go see it. I mean, don't, listen to Rotten Tomatoes and I just have so much beef with that company with the way how they rate. It's just like, at this point, just when it comes to DC movies, don't even listen to them.
Got you.
Just watch it. Just experience it for yourself. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But for me, it was a fun movie. It was just, I'm a Batman fanatic, so it was just fun for me to see, like, Batfleck beat the crap out of people. It was great.
Well, you had one more thing to add, then?
Oh, yeah. Also came out this weekend was Wonder, which I did see as well. Great movie. Go watch that as well. That was a really good movie.
There you go.
That's Wonder. And another thing.
That's a leftovers for me.
Go away.
I'm just playing. Go
also,
watch
though, one thing that we didn't mention is that there are talks that Ben Affleck might not return to the DC films.
That's right.
So, I don't know.
Okay, you know what? I'll put it this way. I would hope that if he doesn't return, like I think he's going to be there for Flashpoint. I think that's for sure. But if he decides to retire as Batman, I hope they don't replace him and George Clooney it. I would just,
or Val Kilmer.
I would just hope like, okay, you know what? Then just have cross over to the next character to step up the mantle, maybe Nightwing or one of the other Robins.
Got you. That's interesting.
I would prefer that instead of like, okay, we're just gonna get some other, and then everyone's gonna be all like.
I'd say a caveat depends on who they want to get. Like if they want to get Matt Damon, yes, don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to get like a really cool actor,
Michael Cera.
No, but I mean, like, did you even hear like they're
Jonah Hill?
Well, supposedly they're eyeing Jake Gyllenhaal because originally he was supposed to be like they were eyeing him before to play Batman. Now they're thinking about getting him as a replacement, at least for the Batman movie.
Okay.
But I would hope that he would just go ahead and just do the Batman movie. If he's gonna retire or stop doing it, just do that one. Just do a
Matt
standalone.
Reeves,
Just
who
do
is a
it.
great director, he should do it.
Right.
All right.
So, and then like I said, if he does it and then he retires it, then have the character actually retire. Like Batman finally, like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna hang up the cowl, come over Nightwing, or because I mean in the comics that's how it happened. He wasn't Batman forever. There are other people, characters within that universe.
Batman Forever.
It's good. Nice tie-in.
How about Gordon Levitt coming back as Nightwing?
Oh gosh, that would just be like the ultimate right there.
All right. I think I've heard enough. This film is going to be a dine-in, so go ahead and watch this in theater.
Hey, we all get points.
Everybody gets a point. Would you see this in 3D, Dan? Or did you see this in 3D?
I didn't, but because I saw an advanced screening of it. But I would actually. I feel
Would
like
you see it in 4D?
I think 4D would be
4D
fun.
would be great.
4D would be fun,
Would you see
especially
it in,
during all the action scenes. I think that would be
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. Either you guys see it in 3D or 4D?
Oh no, I don't believe in 3D.
No, me
Okay.
neither. I'm
All right.
against it.
What about 4D?
Movie Pass doesn't cover 3D.
Yeah,
5D?
movie. I've never seen a movie in 4D.
What?
period.
Rigo?
Oh, you got to at least go to
Are you-
one.
Yeah,
just
you-
experience
you-
it.
Well, we'll take
Star
you.
Wars,
Star
you see
Wars,
it 4D because
Yeah,
it's
We'll take you.
Yeah,
You'll
I
join
think
us
We'll
for
do
a
that
4D.
one. Or Pitch Perfect in 4D.
If it's
those-
offered, sure.
amazing.
Although that may be fun to see at like the Dolby theaters with their
With
special
crisp
surround
sound?
sound.
Yeah.
It's like a music, since it's
Venue?
a music.
The sing along right there.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
but yeah, you know what? I'll do Star Wars in 4D. I'll
All
watch
right,
it. I'll
join
watch
us.
it first, regular 2D,
that's-
then
Oh,
I'll.
you
yeah.
should. You
Recommended.
should.
Yeah.
Always watch it. Don't watch your first time. Don't watch like if you're gonna watch a movie, watch it because you love it and you want to see it again, not the first time because
Yeah.
there's so much stuff going on. You'll be distracted.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand the.
No,
hosting-
I'm taking the host duties back.
No.
You've been
Gul'dan.
all right. Thank you so much, Manny, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Would you like to go ahead and promote Awkward Silence or any
Yes,
other thing
I
you're working
would.
on?
It's like exciting news. We're pretty much completed with the post production of the film.
Hey!
Yeah,
I
awesome.
How long has it been, right?
Hey.
So we're looking at venues, and we got one that we're eyeing. We're still in the talks about securing a date to screen it. If anything, in January, hopefully mid-January, that'll be the date. You guys, of course, are invited, and
Awesome.
I'll keep you.
You hear
updated.
that? You guys are invited. No, I'm
Yes,
just
all of y'all. So
Thank
if you
you.
want to keep like updates on it, you can go to our website.
kidding. Rigo's not invited though, right? No.
No, he's invited.
It's all right. I'll sneak it in the back. It's okay.
He can movie pass it if he wants to.
hey, anything to support it.
Right?
That'll get you $7 through the
Woo!
door.
But if you want to find out more information, you can go to our website, awkwardsilencemovie.com. You can also find us on social medias, on Instagram. Search for us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're going to start giving more updates. As soon as we find the date to screen it, we'll let you guys know.
And we will go ahead and promote it as well.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Rigo Espinoza, for being on this show, even though I kicked you off like 3 times.
Yeah, you did. And it's okay. I don't got nothing to promote, as always.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just go to hubacanoes.com.
Hey.
Movie menu. Is it podcast or reviews?
Podcast.
Well, you're listening to this, so I'm pretty sure you know where to go.
Oh, share this. Share this video with your friends.
Yes,
Yes.
share,
Let them know how much you
subscribe.
Thank
They're
you.
on SoundCloud and
iTunes and Stitcher.
iTunes and a lot of other stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna say that again though, so don't worry.
Yes, and follow them on Twitter because do you guys have a lot of Twitter followers?
Not enough.
No.
You could use more.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you're on Twitter and you follow them, please retweet them. That way they
Thank
get more
you.
followers.
Thank you.
And them too. Awkward Silence.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you so much, Mike, for hosting.
Hey.
Host with the most things to lose.
Yes.
Thank you for. Do you want to promote anything?
Not at this time.
Not
Soon.
Huba Canoes.
What about Fork Night Chappie?
That's right. There's a new
What?
Fortnite Chappie and the Chamomile Crew video. So